Hey horror fans, what's going on? Skid Goer here again with another video. This is going to be part 3 of my top 100 favorite horror films of all time. No particular order whatsoever. Just want to say thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, watching my other videos. I really appreciate it. None of these are going to be in particular order either. So yeah, let's hop into this. Number 80, 1984, we have the classic Return of the Living Dead, directed by the great Dan O'Bannon, rest in peace. I don't really know what more to say about this film that hasn't been said already. It's a classic, Zomcom, one of the first. Way ahead of its time. I love how Dan O'Bannon kind of based this on the original Night of the Living Dead by saying it was a true story, with the government and the barrels of toxic waste that have that had the zombies that were shipped to the wrong place, and Thom Mathews' character, and of course the great over the top performance of James Karen. It's hilarious. This is such a classic film. The Tar Zombie kicks ass. Also, Lorena Quigley is naked through half this film as Trash, and one of her, roles she's most known for, being naked in a graveyard dancing. Excellent punk rock vibe. It's a good punk rock movie. Some good gore in parts too. I love the atmosphere with the mortuary and the graveyard. That was pretty cool. One of my favorite scenes, though, of course, is the Tar Zombie. Brains or brains. That was one of my favorite parts. The Tar Zombie is just so iconic. But yeah, Dan O'Bannon was an amazing director, an amazing person, and Return of the Living Dead is definitely one to check out. It's a good movie if you just want to get some friends together and cheers some beers and just watch the red shit fly and have a fun time. It's one of those good time movies. So that's Return of the Living Dead. At number 79 from 1977, we have Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. This film, of course, made Michael Berryman a horror icon among horror fans. Story about a family that's on vacation that eventually is terrorized by a bunch of mutant killer cannibal family in the mountains, and it gets a little messed up. The cannibals kill the grandma and the mother. And it's up to the father and these two kids to just pretty much. There's some cool dogs in this too. There's a dog named Beast and Beauty. I think Beast is the one that kicks ass, bites Michael Berryman's leg. Yeah, this is a really atmospheric movie. I know it's loosely based on the Soybean Legend of Soybean. One of Wes Craven's best movies, I think. Of course, we all know Wes Craven is no longer with us, which is very sad, but at least he left us behind some really good movies, and this one's no exception. Hills Have Eyes. From 78, I talked about this one of my favorite slashers of all time from 2007. That's Ryan Nicholson's Gutterballs. This movie is insane. Ever since the word, absolutely insane. There's this killer named BBK who's stuck in killing all these kids in this bowling alley, and just amazingly brutal kills. Of course, the ball cleaning scene or the ball return scene, whatever the fuck it's called. The Death by 69 always stands out. BBK wears a really cool mask too. I really dig the guy's mask. Yeah, that's pretty much like what it says on here. Brutally violent, oversexed, over the top, amazing. That's basically what Ryan Nicholson's Gutterballs is. It's an absolutely batshit crazy film. Not recommended for anybody. This one's for the few and the proud that really like their films extreme. Brings back the 70s and 80s vibe totally. Just says fuck you to a lot of mainstream films. And I love it. Ryan Nicholson's Gutterballs. Can't wait to see what he comes up next. Collar was really good too. Ryan Nichols has not made a bad film yet, in my opinion. Number 77 from 1963, we have The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man is a total classic film about cults, about the old religion. Lord Summerstill, played by the immortal Christopher Lee, rest in peace also. He said in various interviews that this was actually one of his favorite roles to do, and I can see him having a lot of fun with it too. Like, he was a good opera singer, so there's a little bit of opera moments in this movie. There's some comedic timing in this movie as well. Edward Woodward plays this cop that goes over to this island to investigate the disappearance of a young girl, Rowan Morrison, and basically he runs into a town or village that's completely, utterly just obsessed with the old ways, the old religion. Thank you. Just total fucking insanity, man. And at the end is like one of the best horror endings ever. Even not just horror film, just cinema in general. It just kind of grabs you when you see it. But The Wicker Man classic, it never had to be remade with that bullshit Nicolas Cage version, in my opinion. Fuck that shit. This is a real one. Check it out. From number 76 from 1981, we have The Prowler. Prowler's a really good slasher from the 80s, directed by Joe Zito, the guy that did Friday the 13th, the final chapter, one of the best in that series, in my opinion. We all know Tom Savini did the effects in this film. He stated that this is one of his best special effects films, outside of Day of the Dead. That was a good one too, with Captain Rhodes getting all ripped up. But this one, Mark Granger's head getting blown off, and the scene with the pitchfork in the shower, where it just goes through her and there's blood everywhere. The machete in the pool slits her through it. Really brutal film. One of my favorites from the 80s for sure, The Prowler. Check it out. Number 75 from 1987, we have a good, wholesome family entertainment movie, York Bookerite. I think I said that right. Necromantic. Even though I kind of prefer Necromantic 2 over this one, I had to include this one because it's just a total fucked up movie about necrophilia. And I love it because it's kind of in a way, it's kind of a twisted love story, Yeah, it's a twisted love story, but it's a love story nonetheless, about two lovers that have a very unhealthy fetish of fucking dead bodies, basically. But the ending has to be seen to believe in this movie. Yeah, I can't really say much more, but check out York Bookerite, Necromantic. Great score in that movie too. From 1974, but it's also number 74 on this list. Well, that was not planned. Is Bob Clark's classic Black Christmas. This movie set up the whole "the killers in the house" type of mentality. Movies like When a Stranger Calls. Even Scream. There was a precursor to Scream. Black Christmas is such a classic. Olivia Hussey fresh off of Romeo and Juliet, stars as a beautiful woman fighting for her life in the sorority. Uh, Barb, played by Margot Kidder, is a great alcoholic. I absolutely love that fellatio scene in the police station. That cracks me up every time I watch that. Of course, John Saxon is Lieutenant Fuller, a great role. Um, he plays a lot of cops, doesn't he? But he is a great actor. He'll make anything look good. This film has such good atmosphere too, with the house and the snow, and actually really creepy. Still to this day, this movie still holds up. Check out the original Black Christmas. Stay away from the remake. From number 73 from 2000, we have probably one of the best werewolf films, in my opinion, and that is Ginger Snaps. The beautiful Catherine Isabel is bitten by a werewolf and basically kills and terrorizes everybody, and it's up to her younger sister, Bridget, played by Emily Perkins, to stop her. But she's torn between two worlds because they kind of make a pact, like a sisterhood of they'll stay together forever and then they'll die together. They never want to be separated. They're obsessed with death, and suicide and stuff. It's really cool. Really good story about two sisters. Bridget's trying to find this antidote to keep Ginger, her sister, not the wolf, But shit gets crazy. And really good practical special effects with the werewolf as well. Good film from Canada, Ginger Snaps, awesome. Catherine Isabel is so hot in the movie, as in most movies. She's in number 72. At 1984, we have Silent Night, Deadly Night. As I stated one other time, that this movie caused heavy controversy in the 80s. Parents, resource groups trying to boycott it, get it out, pull out of the theater because this killer Santa Claus traumatizing their kids. Christmas is the scariest damn time of the year. I love the grandpa. Grandpa's one of my favorite characters in this one. Just plays this mute, like this. You think he's like a million miles away, and all of a sudden he just turns to the little boy and just starts saying that shit about Christmas being scary. Great. Yeah, The Silent Night, Deadly Night is a classic film. Absolutely good kills in this one. It's a good story also about how a bad upbringing can bring forth bad results in people. Because this kid was abused by the fucking penguins, the nuns, and his family was killed by this killer Santa Claus, that raped his mother and killed his father. So he grows up traumatized, basically. You fucking assholes out there cutting the grass, sir. Yeah, so it's Silent Night, Deadly Night. Fuck you, asshole. Had all day to do that. Number 71, the last one I have on this list from 1963, is Mario Bava's classic Black Sabbath, starring the great, the best Boris Karloff in the role of the Warlock. This is a great horror anthology. Definitely one of my favorites for atmosphere and storyline. The Phone is a kind of precursor to shit like Scream that came later, where the killer's calling on the phone.